How was the Civil War financed under Lincoln's leadership? Have you ever wondered how a nation at war manages to pay for everything? Well, during Abraham Lincoln's presidency, the United States faced a daunting financial challenge as the Civil War began. The country had no central bank, no national banking system, and no national currency. This made raising funds for the war effort against the Confederacy a monumental task. By the end of the war, the government needed about $3 billion to keep things running smoothly. Lincoln, alongside his Treasury Secretary Salmon P. came up with several innovative strategies to tackle this financial hurdle. One of the main methods was the issuance of government bonds. The government sold these bonds to the public, targeting both wealthy investors and everyday citizens. This approach helped unite the Union states around the war effort. In fact, around two-thirds of the war's financing came from these loans. The government organized bond drives, encouraging widespread participation. Another significant step was the introduction of new taxes. For the first time in United States history, the federal government implemented income and inheritance taxes, along with new excise taxes on various goods. These taxes provided a steady stream of revenue and marked a major expansion of federal taxation powers. Additionally, tariffs were increased, contributing roughly a quarter of the war funding. To further support the war effort, the government began printing its own paper money, known as greenbacks. This was a game changer because it established a national currency, which helped stabilize the economy during wartime. Before this, the country had a fragmented system of state currencies. Lincoln and Chase also worked on creating a national banking system. This new system regulated banks and required them to purchase government bonds. This not only created a market for these securities but also supported the war effort. It laid the groundwork for a more centralized and stable financial structure in the United States. Throughout this period, careful fiscal management was essential. Lincoln and Chase aimed to avoid the inflationary issues that had plagued earlier conflicts like the Revolutionary War. Their conservative approach to managing the money supply and debt helped maintain economic stability despite the enormous costs of war. The Lincoln administration inherited a tough fiscal situation, with a depleted treasury and no clear plan for financing a large-scale war. They faced criticism for relying heavily on short-term debt, which increased costs. However, their overall strategy successfully raised the funds needed without causing financial collapse. From a liberal perspective, Lincoln's approach showed a commitment to building a stronger, more centralized federal government. The introduction of progressive taxation and the creation of a national currency and banking system were steps toward a more equitable financial system. These measures not only helped preserve the Union but also laid the foundation for future federal economic policies that balanced fiscal responsibility with social needs. In essence, the financing of the Civil War under Lincoln's leadership involved a mix of innovative bond sales, new federal taxes, the issuance of a national currency, and the establishment of a national banking system. All these efforts were managed with a focus on avoiding inflation and maintaining economic stability, leaving a lasting impact on the American economy and government structure.